Welcome back to Eric Unfiltered. I'm your host, Eric Dickinson. Before I get started, if you would jump over to X real quick and find me at Eric Not Sorry. Give me a follow there. And then hop over to Facebook. Yeah, I'm over there too. I'm old. What can I say? I'm over there at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. And I'm also now on YouTube and on Rumble. Give me a follow there too. All right. First story here in Connecticut. If you have not heard about this guy, you're going to hear about him now. He has been he's been drawing some ire, as the title here is CT GOP candidate draws ire with anti-gay comments. Yeah. So if you have not heard about this guy, his name is Jadon McCormack. He is a 23-year-old first-time Republican candidate for the Connecticut House of Representatives in the 50th District, which is eastern Connecticut, including areas like Brooklyn. Now, again, I'm sure if you are here in Connecticut, I'm sure you've heard about this guy. But again, if you haven't, he has received the local GOP endorsement, but has faced significant backlash over his recent anti-gay social media posts, leading to his own party to seek and qualify a new primary challenger. Now, his controversial statements. McCormack posted messages such as Happy Straight Month, it's American to be anti-Pride Month during Pride Month. Okay. Sure. That's not good. Okay, he is also called for standing, quote, firmly against the transgender and LGBT movement, end quote, that he claims corrupts families and society. Reports indicate he has advocated for the death penalty for gay people. Yeah. Do you want me to read that again? Okay. Reports indicate he has advocated for the death penalty for gay people. A post referencing biblical views on same-sex relations with imageries with a noose. Yeah, that's not good either. And has shared other anti-LGBT and anti-Semitic comments. Anti-Semitic? Well, that's just par for the course nowadays for everybody, right? But for those that do care about that, he has posted, he reposted a video questioning and doubting the numbers from the Holocaust. He also agreed with or engaged positively with a post accusing Israel of worshiping the devil. Again, that's just par for the course now, right? Okay, so on to the gay stuff. So, response to criticism. He has been defiant, describing the posts as reflecting his personal and religious beliefs. He has not withdrawn despite bipartisan condemnation, including from Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont, House Republican leaders, and others who called the remarks hateful and out of step with with state values. Yeah, these were Connecticut state values like 150 years ago. I mean, that was what he's saying would have been the norm. I mean, if you asked him what his opinions are, you would have 150 years ago gone, yeah, no shit. We all think that. Not now, though. No. So the primary challenge, Anthony Emilio of Pomfret qualified for the August 11th, 2026 GOP primary ballot by collecting signatures, explicitly citing McCormack's comments as unrepresentative of the party. So for those of you that were going to vote for Mr. McCormack and have changed your mind, there is a challenger, Anthony Emilio of Pomfret. Again, the election will happen on August 11th. This is what I found on a search, so double check. Now, after all of this controversy, I've heard some people say, even recently, because he was on a local morning radio show that I listened to, and people called in, they took callers, and, well, let's just say, I don't think any of them were a big fan of him and his opinions. I will give him credit. The kid's got balls. I mean, he is posting and commenting and standing by his beliefs in 2026, which, like I said, they're about 100, 150 years old by today's standards. But I give the kid balls. He's sticking by his beliefs. You can hate him. You can hate everything he stands for and everything. You can hate every fiber of his being. I have to respect that. He's sticking by it. He's not bowing down. He's okay. I don't agree with him. I believe he's kind of misguided. Just a smidge. A little skosh. An RCH. A little. Yeah. A lot of sarcasm there. I'm kind of dripping in it today. But like I said, I got to give credit to him. He's sticking to his guns. The kid's got balls. Kid's got balls. But on that radio show, there was someone who called in, and you could tell he was filtering himself real hard. And I think his name was Ryan. I'm not sure. I think so. But anyways, one of the things he said was, you should never platform this guy. I don't know why. Basically, I don't know why you ever platform this guy. Why did you have him on? I mean, you shouldn't give this guy any airtime at all. I could not disagree more. I understand his sentiments. Get it. A lot of people feel the same way. Totally get it. However, one, he does have the First Amendment right to say whatever he wants, whether you like it or not. Whether you hate it or not, it doesn't matter. He's got the right to say it. But here's the big one. Number 2 for me. 2 is, isn't it better to allow someone to express themselves and so you know who they really are? Really get to know them. Oh, this guy's an asshole. I don't want to hang out with him. Isn't it better to know that? Especially in this situation, he's running for office. Wouldn't you best rather know his stances on things before before election day? Me? Yeah, I kind of would rather. Yeah, I'd like to know certain things. You could be pushing for laws. This might be a problem for some of my friends. So, yeah, we have to have a conversation here. That's why I disagree with wanting to censor people and shut them down. No, I totally disagree with that. That's why all that shit before Elon bought X, I saw it. There were people I would follow and, hey, notification, new video or new comment, whatever. And all of a sudden one day, are they not doing anything anymore? And then, no, I would go to their page and, oh, dude, they've got a bunch of stuff up. They were legit shadow banning people when it's just, ew, it's gross. To me, it's just gross. I totally agree. His comments are kind of abhorrent. Right? Can it? Yeah. But he has the right to say it, and we have the right to disagree. We have the ability now, the knowledge to know where he stands on things. And again, if you were going to vote for him, are you still? Or have you changed your mind? Why did you change your mind? Probably because of this information, right? Again, wouldn't you rather know? Exactly. That's why muting people or, I'm not saying not blocking people on social media, but not allowing people to the public square to express whatever kind of crazy, heinous nonsense that's bouncing around in their cranium. That's bad. That's really bad. We should all want to know what kind of crazy people are out there, because there's a lot of them. Some of them are my friends. They don't know it yet, though. Just kidding. Anyways, but that's my opinion. How do you feel about that? Do you agree with that caller? This guy should never be platformed at all. I mean, dude, he's 23. The internet is forever. I don't know what happens if he wakes up at 33 and is like, oh crap, I didn't get a job because of that. Oh my, the internet's forever, dude. But he may stick to his guns for his whole life. I don't know. Some people, they change their mind on things. That's a Foreshadow of what's to come. So, what say you? Do you agree with his statements? Probably not. But again, were you going to vote for him if you live in that district? Were you going to vote for him? Have you changed your mind? Do you think you're going to give Anthony Emilio a look, or are you just going to skip that altogether? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that district? Was it 50? How do you feel about that 50th district? Connecticut, how you doing? All right, the second story here I have is so awesome. Unfortunately, I don't have the girl's name, but she's a freaking badass. I did double check this story because I saw it posted on X, and I'm like, this is kind of a cool story, but is this real? Is it? When did it happen? Because, breaking news, right? It happens 3 years ago. No, I actually looked it up. No, this just happened in June. I don't know the specific date, but teen hero saves mom. A 13-year-old girl in Perry County, Tennessee, near Lobelville, hope I said that right, used a samurai sword to defend her mother from an attacking man in June 2026. That's right. She used a samurai sword to protect her mom. This girl's a badass. So according to the Perry County Sheriff's Office, the incident occurred in the area of River Drive. A 13-year-old girl was in her room when she heard her mother scream for help. She got up, went into her room, and saw a man was attacking her mother. The girl grabbed a decorative samurai sword. The man then went toward the girl, and as he lunged at her, she swung the sword and sliced him in the face. Now look, if this was a real samurai sword, that dude would have half a head. I'm not joking. A real samurai sword. You talk to anybody that's a blade collector, obviously specifically swords, but anybody that knows blades. If that girl was swinging a real samurai sword, that guy would have looked like the guy from the beginning of that movie, Ghost Ship. If you don't know what I'm saying, badass song by Mudvayne, check it out. About 15 minutes in, you'll know what I'm saying. But a sword that is decorative, it's blunt, that is still going to wreck you, bro. She swung and smacked this dude in the face. His injuries were so severe, he was flown to a nearby hospital for treatment. No charges have been announced against anyone involved as of latest reports, as the investigation is still ongoing. Sheriff Nick Weems described the situation as deeply unfortunate, noting the girl is still in grade school. He highlighted positive feedback from her school principal and teachers about her character strength and composure. Weems added that initial witnesses Weems added that initial witness accounts supported the idea that she may have been acting in self-defense of her mother, and stated, when all of the facts come to light, we may find that she wasn't just a victim, she was a hero. Apparently, no official reports of names. There has been a Facebook post of supposedly a woman claiming that she's the mom. Again, it's the internet, doubtful. Some searches I came up with, a name. I'm not going to say it though because it's again not official. But apparently, the man that was attacking the woman, this girl's mother, was the mother's ex-boyfriend, who apparently didn't realize that choking women is not a cool thing, and that's probably why he's the ex-boyfriend. But badass, dude, I don't care how he goes to prison. He's going to go to prison for something, right? Assault, attempted murder, whatever. That dude is got a scarlet letter on his face. And everybody's going to know what he did, who he is, and dude, a 13-year-old did that to you. Come here, bitch. Get the Kool-Aid. Yeah, that's right. This girl's awesome. That is freaking awesome. I want to know more. I want to know more. I want a picture of the sword. I kind of really do. All right, this last story is titled Update to SB 191. You have no idea what the hell that is? Neither do I. I don't have the title for it because I didn't look it up because I didn't care. But it is here in Connecticut because new laws, actually, I believe over 80 new laws, go into effect July 1st here in Connecticut. Most of them are, well, bend over, don't lube up. It's too expensive. But SB Senate Bill 191 is going to change. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because I totally support this. Something in Connecticut I actually support. I'm glad I'm sitting down. But on July 1st of 2026, Connecticut is expanding its existing psychedelic assisted therapy pilot program, which includes MDMA assisted therapy along with psilocybin assisted therapy. This stems from Senate Bill 191, Public Act number 26-108, signed into law by Governor Ned Lamont in 2026. I know. I had no idea we were doing this kind of stuff here in Connecticut. I had no idea. I love this stuff. I know some people out there going, wait, they're making people trip balls? Yes, but no. No. Yes, they are doing party drugs, but they're not having a party. Okay? They're not having a party. So the program, let's see, the base background on the original program launched via earlier legislation around 2022-2023. The pilot focused on veterans, retired first responders, and direct care healthcare workers. It provides access to MDMA-assisted or psilocybin-assisted therapy in controlled clinical research settings as part of FDA-approved research programs. Administered through the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the DMHAS, God, say that 3 times fast, often in partnership with a medical school, for example, like Yale. Now, I love that. I love this. I've talked about this before. If you're a fan of Joe Rogan, you've heard him talk about this shit ad nauseum. And I'm going to be making references to that later. But the key updates going into effect on July 1st of this year, the broader eligibility now. This therapy is now open to any adult aged 18 or older who meets clinical eligibility criteria set by the Institutional Review Board of the administering medical school. So could be, Yale, whatever. Veterans and first responders remain a priority, but the pool expands to help with recruitment. The original goal was a cohort of about 50 participants. No automatic shutdown on federal approval. The program no longer ends if the FDA or DEA approves MDMA or psilocybin for medical use. This allows continuity, ongoing research, and potential eligibility for federal matching funds. The focus remains on research. Treatments are part of FDA-approved research protocols studying efficiency for conditions like PTSD, serious depression, and trauma-related issues. It's not general recreational or open market access. No, it is not. Now, why the change? Lawmakers cited challenges recruiting enough participants under the narrow original criteria, promising earlier results for trauma PTSD treatment and preparation for possible federal approvals. I'm going to get into that. The expansion supports evidence-based mental health innovation while maintaining strict clinical oversight, which is awesome. This is a state-level pilot program only. It doesn't legalize MDMA outside the research context, and participation requires meeting specific medical criteria through the approved program. For the latest details, you can go on to the Connecticut DMAHS website or the administering medical school. One thing that is not on here, and I did look, and it's not on the list for research. A little friggin' gnat in here. Not on the research for research here in Connecticut, which kind of bums me out, is ibogaine. The reason why ibogaine is because it's not a party drug. Ever. Like, never, ever. Like, okay, July 4th is coming up. People will be handing out beer and wine and bud and maybe powder if you're a little wild. Nobody is handing out Ibogaine. Nobody is asking for it. No one is selling it. It is not a party drug. It's not like, oh, wow, look at the colors, man. No, Ibogaine is terrible from what I've heard. I've never taken it, thankfully. I don't want to. But under Ibogaine treatment, again, if you're a Rogan fan, you've heard all this before. But ultimately, because again, if you hear psilocybin, magic mushrooms, you're like, oh, people are just tripping balls. No. It's under, like I said, clinical therapy. People are using the psilocybin. They're using the trip with the therapist to walk through a lot of crap to hopefully straighten out their life. The Ibogaine stuff is essentially ayahuasca. From reports I've heard, again, a lot of anecdotal stuff. One, it's terrible. You puke a lot. You shit yourself. Yeah, it's a physically terrible experience. And mentally, from, again, anecdotal, but from experiences I've heard, it basically tears you down to the core. Like, it destroys your ego. It basically brings you back to birth, and you go through your entire life experiencing like the pain you did to other people, but through that person's lens. Like, you really see what a giant piece of crap you are, and the good, I guess, but it really it makes you evaluate you. And people that have gone on this treatment, typically for, again, PTSD, but also substance abuse. A lot of people that are addicted to pills. You know, everybody remember the Sackler family, you know? Pieces of shit. But people addicted to painkillers, legitimately. Oh, by the way, Painkiller, Netflix, great show. Like, I think it's like 80+% of the people that have I think it's one Ibogaine treatment, they're like, done. No more addiction to pills. They're done. Over. Why don't we push more of that? Oh, we know why. Big Pharma. But I love the idea of Ibogaine. More Ibogaine treatments. Another thing, as I mentioned earlier, people changing their mind. Again, if you've listened to Rogan, you've heard this before, but former Texas governor, Republican, Rick Perry, was Mr. Typical anti-everything. But then he heard stories from people who he cares about that has had this treatment, who has helped them. Veterans. People like Marcus Luttrell. If you've ever seen the movie Lone Survivor or read the book, he, outside of what he went through, here at home, he was in a really, really bad place. And others talked to Rick and was like, yeah, dude, if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be here. I would have killed myself, dude. And so Rick was like, all right, tell me more. And I'm like, awesome. Awesome. That's awesome. Rick Perry didn't even just listen. He went and did it himself. I don't know specifically why, but I know he's, I think, aged early 70s, I think. But I know he talked about it on Rogan. Anyways, typical brain stuff. Not like, age-related stuff. Not like, he's going senile or dementia or anything like that. Just, age-related brain reduction stuff. He took he had an Ibogaine treatment. 6 months later, the doctor did a scan, and they were like, some of that stuff is gone. That's a little smaller. Wow. Your brain is getting better. A year later, his brain everything's good. His brain healed itself. Again, anecdotal? Sure, maybe, I guess. But if we're doing psilocybin treatment, which is awesome, MDMA treatment, awesome, why don't we do the Ibogaine shit too? Also, while we're at it, obviously can't really help anybody that's already, like in prison for double homicide, but with an Ibogaine treatment, something like I said, I don't know much about the psilocybin. Maybe it has the same effect. I don't know. But what about repeat offending criminals. I'm talking the people that are in and out of jail because we can't, heaven forbid, we put somebody that beat the crap out of somebody and robbed them in prison. But how about we force those people to go on like an Ibogaine treatment? Maybe knock their ego down a few notches. Make them experience that and go, holy cow, I was doing that? Pff, I'm going to go out and get a job now. What a loser. I don't want to be a loser. Hey, an idea, right? If people are just going out and doing, crazy nonsense instead of prison, maybe we put them on that, see what's happening, see what's up. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? I'd like to hear from you. Leave a comment in the comments. Speaking of the comments, if you like the show, give it a like, share, tell your friends, hit the bell. Don't forget the bell. I think it's important. I don't know. I've been told to tell you. I don't know. Anyways, you can follow me on X at Eric Not Sorry, also on Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. I'm also on Rumble now and let's see, Spotify, all that stuff on the internet. All right. Thank you for watching the episode. Take care.